All right, well, next up this morning, we are chatting with acclaimed cookbook author and food writer for the New York Times, J. Kenji Lopez Alt. He's got this popular YouTube cooking channel that is a must-see, and he recently moved to Seattle. I caught up with him about his move here and a charitable cause close to his heart.
I have to know, how did you end up in Seattle? What drew you here? How are we so fortunate to have you?
Well, the weather, to be honest.
Wait, did you know the weather?
We love Seattle. My wife and I have moved around quite a bit, but most recently we spent the last 6 years in the Bay Area, and we spent a lot of time visiting Seattle and really loved sort of the size of it, the access to nature, the fact that you can be so close to downtown and the mountains and the water and everything, that it has real seasons, all these things that we really loved about it. We've been planning on moving here for a while. The only reason we moved here is it's not for a career or anything. It's just because we love the city.
Yeah, it does have a great food scene, though.
Yes, certainly does.
And I'm especially curious about No Kid Hungry. It's something that you're passionate about. For those who've never heard of it, can you explain to us about what it's about?
In the U.S., there, about 1 in 6 children are at risk of going hungry every day. And, it's insane to me that in a country as rich and plentiful as ours, that this can still happen. And the pandemic has exacerbated it in this situation, especially with schools being closed for so long. Like a lot of the places that kids used to get their food from they were left out of them. The problem gets bigger in the summer as well when schools are out. I really started getting into it initially, like right when the pandemic started, and my restaurant was completely shut down, and we were trying to think of ways that we could help the community. And so through my restaurant, we were producing meals for community centers and for hospital workers and things like that. Basically finding ways to keep my staff occupied, and to make sure that we were helping in the community. And through those sort of efforts, we got connected with a few different organizations. There's one called Off Their Plate, another one called World Central Kitchen, which is Jose Andres's organization. Eventually, as the restaurant started to reopen, and we started, having regular takeout business and stuff, I kind of tried to shift my attention to ways that I could help hungry people at large in the country. And so that's when No Kid Hungry came to my attention. So I've been doing basically just fundraising efforts, mainly through my YouTube channel and my social media channels. But we've, No Kid Hungry in the past year has spent more than $87 million on helping feed children in the Seattle area alone, $2 million. So it's about 9 million meals produced. And so, it's an important thing. Kids shouldn't go hungry, especially not in this country. And it's a problem that I think needs to be addressed.
How does the organization reach out to the community? Do they go through food banks or community centers?
Through both. So they work with a number of smaller organizations. They basically offer grants to thousands of different smaller local organizations that, including food banks, including community centers, schools, things like that.
And how can people support? Obviously donating. Is there any other thing that we can do?
Donating is the easiest way. You can go directly to nokidhungry.com. You can go to any of my YouTube videos. There's always a link right at the top.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about the conversation that's happening in the restaurant industry, the revelations around Blaine Wetzel and Eduardo. And honestly, what surprised me was hearing from so many restaurant workers on social media saying that this is a norm, that it happens a lot. Do you think this is a tipping point?
I mean, I think the real tipping point started in 2017 with the Me Too movement. All the things started coming out about, Mario Batali and Ken Friedman and all these real big, nationally known chefs. And certainly it's something that has been going on in the industry for a long time. I've been cooking in restaurants for 20 years, and it has been going on the entire time. But I do think that there is a substantive change. Well, first of all, in what people are willing to put up with at work, and also in giving people voices and support and making people feel that they have a platform. And I think seriously admire the journalists who've spent the time to reach out to people, make them feel heard, find support for these stories and bring them out in ways that support the workers in the industry. It is a problem. It's an ongoing problem. It's always disappointing to find out when people who you think they're leaders, they should be doing better. And it's always disappointing to find out that they haven't been. And then of course, your heart goes out to all the victims, and there's so many more, and many more who just feel that they don't have the voice to or have the platform to bring these issues up. It's one of these issues of a power dynamic that is difficult to overcome. It's kind of entrenched in the industry.
Yeah, you've taken some steps in places you've worked or in restaurants you've run just around the culture, right?
Yeah, when I started my restaurant in California, making sure that this kind of stuff doesn't happen, there was one of the primary goals. And so, to that, and we instituted a few very basic rules that I think actually they seem very simple, but I think they actually go a long way towards creating an environment of co-respect with all your workers. Those rules were that there's no yelling in our kitchen. In a lot of kitchens, like chefs will yell at the cooks and demean them and dehumanize them. So there's no yelling in our kitchen. There's no public dressing down. So if someone makes a mistake, you wait until after service and take them aside. And there's no cursing in our kitchens. So, and that goes for between cooks talking to each other or chefs talking to cooks and anyway, we just try and create sort of a situation where at least the language is respectful. And I think that actually goes a long way towards stemming potential bad behavior. And of course, there's tolerance for actual bad behavior. But, the problem is that when a lot of that behavior comes from the top and it comes from people that grew up in the industry without ever seeing, learning that it was wrong. And these people who are successful despite this behavior, sometimes even successful because of this behavior, it just perpetuates it. It's almost like a hazing culture, which is, it's bad in many ways.
Such a rich discussion. And if you'd like to learn more about No Kid Hungry and ways that you can donate, we have a link to everything on New Day's website. And we'll have more with Kenji later in the show.